What can 50,000 actually build in Ghana? Hi guys, welcome to Cost My Bill channel. My name is Becca, and in this video we are going to be breaking down what 50,000 can actually get us in Ghana. Is it a 3-bedroom? Is it a 1-bedroom? Or is it just a duplex? Which is it? Let's get into it and we'll know. One of the most common questions that people usually ask before they start building is, can 50,000 Ghana cedis build a house in Ghana? Now the answer will surprise you because some people believe it's enough to build an entire house. Others also think it can only buy a few blocks and bags of cement. So what's the truth? The answer is it actually depends. It depends on where you are building. See, people don't tell you. If you're building in East Legon, the price is different from when you choose to build in, let's say, Ashaiman. Don't come for me, but different areas. Okay, it also depends on the size of the house, the type of materials you choose, labor cost, and how well you've planned your projects. How well you've planned your project. See, so if you're using Cost My Bill to plan your project, it is easy. You won't even start guessing if 50,000 can actually build a house for you because you've already planned it thoroughly by using the Cost My Build website. But here's one thing we can all say with confidence. Well, 50,000 Ghana cedis is unlikely to complete an entire house, but it can help you achieve significant milestones. See, if you plan wisely, you might end up building a fence wall. You can build a fence wall with 50,000 Ghana cedis, but buying or building a house with 50,000 Ghana cedis, see, don't let people lie to you. 50,000 Ghana cedis, what's the equivalent to? Say, probably $4,000 or $4,500, and then maybe 3,500 euros. We are going to be discussing what 50,000 Ghana cedis can realistically do in Ghana, in the current construction market, and why proper planning matters before you spend your first dime. Let's not think of 50,000 Ghana cedis as a complete house. Construction happens in phases. Okay, like construction happens in phases. Every phase has different costs. So instead of expecting one amount to finish everything, think about progressing from one stage to the next. That mindset helps you plan better and also avoid abandoning your project halfway. See, if you go to especially most of the newly built construction sites, right, you see there are a lot of uncompleted building that have been left halfway through the project, and then now they'll be forced to sell it. And this is as a result of improper planning or not planning your project very well before you even start or before you initiate your whole dream house. Because assuming you had planned it, assuming you had used Cost My Bill to plan, and most of them undisputedly are diasporas. Because we understand when you think about like changing the cedi, when you think about changing the dollar to cedi, you'd realize that when you change the dollars to cedis, it's a lot of money for you to build in Ghana. But one thing you are forgetting is that when you come to buying the materials, it is also expensive. And people don't really put that into consideration. They only think of the dollars is more, so when you change it to cedis, I can buy something. And that's what happened. That's how come a lot of people coming outside from the country have started building, and then they leave it halfway, and then they go back and then say they'll come and continue later. And now the house will be so abandoned, and now it just devalues. Because if I go see it and you tell me you're pricing it to $120,000, hell no, there's no I'm taking it. I'll probably give you 50,000 Ghana cedis, which you lose. And if you think about it, I'll now have to like break down the whole building to start everything afresh. Okay, so now let's look at what 50,000 Ghana cedis may realistically cover. One, that is the foundation only. Trust me, for many projects, 50,000 Ghana cedis can get you through the foundation stage. depending on the size of building and the conditions of the site. See, if you go and you are not lucky and you end up buying a waterlogged land, now you'll have to buy a lot of sand, stones, just to be able to, level up the ground so you don't face water entering your house in the future. So now this may include like the site clearing, the setting, as well as excavation because of the gravels and the sand that you need, as well as the foundation trenches, the concrete works, foundation blocks, hardcore filling, damp roof membrane, and the list goes on and on and on. However, if your land has poor soil condition or is on a slopey area, it requires additional engineering work. Your foundation cost may go higher than you expected. So the foundation carries the weight of your entire building. So now that is where you might end up spending a lot. So do you think 50,000 Ghana cedis can build your dream house? Setting out the foundation alone. No, don't deceive yourself because it won't work. Another thing is the foundation plus pillars. One mistake people usually do is just foundation, leaving out the pillars. So now the whole fencing or the foundation becomes shaky. It's not promising because if there should be any little thing, any little mistake, your whole building could collapse. And you won't want that, okay? So if you're building a modest-sized house and have planned carefully, 50,000 may also take you beyond the foundation. That's if you know you're on a leveled area, you don't have to consider if it is waterlogged. Then you're good to go. 50,000 can actually do well with your foundation and also start your building. The key thing is to remember that every project is different. That's what I said earlier. It depends on the size. You can't see your brother who is living in a leveled ground and compare that to you wants to start and you know you're going to buy a cheap land in a waterlogged area. It won't work out. So you think that probably you are being cheated, but the first thing was not planning out your project well, not taking into consideration the site and then also the size. So this is where you would have to look at very carefully, even when you are using the estimation tool on Cost My Build. So material prices also change. Labor rates also differ from one region. If you want to build in Kumasi, it might be cheaper than if you should consider building in Accra, because Accra is a fast-paced area. A lot of people are moving in Accra, so things are getting expensive. Land is getting expensive. The buildings, even completed buildings, are getting so expensive. So you might want to consider also building outside Accra, say Ashanti region or Cape Coast or Takoradi or wherever you find very calm. If you want to retire and live in Ghana, you shouldn't always consider Accra, because if you think maybe you want to use about $10,000 to build, trust me, you should consider maybe setting out a place in Cape Coast, Kumasi or Takoradi. I know my friends or my colleagues may ask that, can 50,000 Ghana cedis roof my house? Not usually if you are starting from scratch. Roofing is one of the most expensive stages of construction. It includes the roofing timber or steel, the roofing sheets, trusses, the fascia boards, gutters, laybeds, and also depends on the kind of roofing you want to do. So if you've already completed the foundation and walls, 50,000 might contribute significantly towards roofing. It might not finish the work, but you might get somewhere. But if you're starting from beginning, expecting to reach roofing with only 50,000 Ghana cedis may not be realistic for the most standard homes. That's why it's important to estimate every stage before the construction begins. Try your best to use the estimation feature to know what exactly you should save, how you should start your project, what kind of roofing will take this amount. You put all your budgets together. You can come to Ghana, start your building project, and end successfully without any struggles or without even having to halt your project for a very long time. In the beginning of the video, I said if you want to build a chamber and hall with 50,000 Ghana cedis, it might help I mean, you might get some way. So let's talk about the chamber and hall options. Many people choose to build a chamber and hall first because it allows them to move in while expecting the property later, which is a good idea. Okay, depending on the location or the building design, you can start with a chamber and hall. So with that, you'd be changing your building structure gradually. Okay, you can start with just a chamber and hall completed, and then you move into like the next phase gradually without having to start the whole project. Now, what a chamber and hall means is it's just one bedroom, one hall, and a washroom. Or some will say it's just a bedroom, a sitting area, and a washroom. So that's what a chamber and hall is. Just something small for you to start with. And then from there, you have your land. From there, you can like start extending, adding your rooms, 2 rooms, or adding the second floor or first floor to the project. So 50,000 Ghana cedis may actually help you begin a chamber and hall project or complete major structural stages. However, expecting to finish a complete, fully serviced chamber and hall with modern finishes on this budget may not be realistic. If you're talking about aesthetics, it won't be realistic. So proper planning is essential to understand exactly what your budget can achieve. Honestly, 50,000 Ghana cedis may help you achieve the foundation stages. It may help you get a fence wall so you won't have people lurking around your building or lurking around your land. It can help you start the foundation, which might take a lot of money, or even just building a fence wall. That is, if you don't have a fence wall, that is even going to take a lot of money. So realistically speaking, 50,000 Ghana cedis may not get you the kind of house you want to build unless you have these three in place. That is the foundation, the fence wall, and then a few trips of sand and stones. With that, you can get to a chamber and hall building. But if not, you'd have to put all this into consideration. You'd have to check out your budget carefully using the cost my build estimation feature. Okay, so now the biggest lesson that we can get here is you don't really have to ask how much do I have to start a building. I mean, stop stressing yourself with asking all these questions when you can simply input your kind of project, your amounts you have right on the Cost My Build platform, so it can help you know what exactly you can build with the set amounts that you have. That's why Cost My Build was built to help everyone, the diasporas especially, to build the smartest way. So while using the planning and estimation tools before construction is important, especially when you're using the Cost My Build platform. So you need to remember this, okay? Building isn't about how fast you start. It's about how successful you can finish. So if you're planning to build in Ghana, take time to estimate your costs, understand each construction stage carefully with the Cost My Build tool. Now think about it. As you are living outside Ghana, $5,000, what can that actually get you? Can it get you a house? I don't know. Let me know in the comment section. I don't know. So if you now exchange this into the cedis, do you think this can actually build a house for you in Ghana? If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more practical construction tips from Cost My Build platform or from Cost My Build channel. My name is Becca. Thank you for watching once again, and I'll see you in the next video.